Good morning, staff and learners. We gather here this morning as a united school to pay our respects and express our gratitude to those who have selflessly served us. Today, we gather here to observe and commemorate Remembrance Day, a day of reflection and gratitude. This solemn occasion provides us with an opportunity to pay our respects to the brave men and women who have served and continue to serve in our armed forces, and to remember the sacrifices that they've made to ensure our freedom and our peace. It is not only about the past, but it's also about the present and the future. It's about understanding the cost of war, the value of peace, and the importance of working together for a more peaceful world. Mr. Walker will explain the impact of the First World War and the contribution made by men, not just in this country, but across the world too.
Remembrance is not merely an act, it is a sacred obligation. It is our responsibility here today to ensure the sacrifices of those who laid down their lives for the sake of freedom, justice, and a better world are never forgotten. World War I, also known as the Great War, raged from 1914 to 1918. It was one of the most catastrophic conflicts in humanity, leaving an indelible mark on our world. World War I witnessed the devastation of an entire generation, the transformation of societies, and the reshaping of the world. It was like no other war, characterised by trench warfare, the use of new devastating weapons on a scale unimaginable. When you see on your TV screens pictures of the Ukraine today, that is just a small example of what was a much larger scale conflict. This was truly a world war. Soldiers came from across the British Empire, including members of India, Australia, New Zealand, the Caribbean, parts of Africa and Canada, all answering the call. They stood shoulder to shoulder, united by a shared sense of duty and a commitment to defend the principles that they valued. The Empire was a really and truly multicultural force. They brought a rich tapestry of cultures, languages and traditions, and their common cause bound them together. Their contribution led to a free Europe, and the soldiers' change and indelible mark on the world extended beyond the war itself. Many returned home with changed views, sparking movements for independence in their home countries that would reshape the world and form the world we live in now. It was from the chaos and destruction of World War I that the seeds of remembrance are sown. We must remember those who have fallen, those who gave their freedom for our freedom today. Armistice Day, known as Remembrance Day, was established on November the 11th, 1919, marking the anniversary of the end of World War I. It was a day set aside for nations to pause, to give a 2-minute silence, which became an annual tradition. People from all walks of life, all classes in society gathered to remember, to reflect, to express thanks for the sacrifices of those men and the lives that they laid down. One of the most poignant symbols of remembrance is the red poppy. In the aftermath of World War I, the Flanders poppy emerged as a symbol of hope and renewal amidst the devastation and carnage of the battlefields. This simple yet profound symbol has come to represent and reflect the sacrifice of those millions of men and then subsequently millions of women who laid down their lives for a better world. In a moment, we will hear an iconic poem, In Flanders Field, written by John McCrae. When you buy your poppy today, it is important that you remember the sacrifice that was laid down. I would like to finish by quoting the words of Lawrence Binyon. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Let us never forget.
In our world today, conflict continues to affect the lives of countless individuals and communities. On this Remembrance Day, let us remember that the pursuit of peace is an ongoing responsibility for each and every single one of us. We can make a difference by promoting tolerance, understanding, respect, cooperation in our communities and beyond. Now, as a mark of respect, we will observe a 1-minute silence. This silence is a time for reflection, gratitude and remembrance. Let us remember the sacrifices made by those who fought for our freedom. Let us show our respect to those who gave their lives for our freedom by bowing our heads for a 1 minute.